Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. As you see some of these matches and segments that's going to be on Dynamite Review coming up. Orange Cassidy defends his international championship against Buddy Matthews. Could Buddy Matthews dethrone Orange Cassidy, who's been red hot with title defenses of the international championship? We'll see. Also, too, Powerhouse Hobbs defends his TNT championship against um Silence Young. Powerhouse Hobbs continuing his momentum, and a surprise guest comes to Powerhouse Hobbs to challenge him for dethroning Powerhouse Hobbs. We'll get to that coming up, as well as the Blackpool Combat Club taking on Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler. We'll see how that going on. And to MJL, he came out there. He must appear. What does MJL have in store? We'll talk about that. But when we start the Pro Wrestling Show, we're going to talk about Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin, as Darby Allin could be likely next in line for an AEW title match and stuff. We'll talk about that coming up as we get started with the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. And it starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, AEW Dynamite Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show on AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Join the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. We got a lot of features going on, so let's not waste no time whatsoever. We're going to talk about this. Swerve Strickland started the show, coming out with his hood, rain, mask, or whatever you want to call it. Swerve came out there to take on Darby Allin, an impromptu match. Swerve and Darby went battle to battle. But Darby won the match over Swerve. One thing about Swerve Strickland, he's gaining momentum as a heelish wrestler. He merged his boards with the House of Embassy. I guess they're doing like WWE with UFC, merging the two powerhouses together. Well, Darby Allin won that match over Swerve, and Darby Allin continues his momentum over Swerve. Well, unfortunately for Darby Allin, the world champion MJF came out there. MJF, who's been talking about a lot this day. He's talking about even he got confronted by pillars of the company, Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy and Darby Allin. They want to be next in line for a world title match sooner rather than later. Well, MJF didn't hesitate on what his plans were. He was contractually obligated to be there. I think MJF was mad that he had to be there in Seattle. Um, MJF and Darby Allin having word of words. Darby Allin likely could be the next number one contender for the world championship. That's what's next for Darby Allin. You continue on that momentum. You continue on growing. Darby had that momentum. Well, MJF continued to put down Darby Allin, thinking that Darby Allin wasn't good enough for a world championship match. I think MJF had that crazy debacle last week with that sing along, like he was in a Rat Tat band or something, which that was kind of weird and stuff. MJF acting, trolling folks from the old forgotten days right back then. MJF got confronted by the icon Sting. Sting made his return, and Sting had a lot to say. Sting confronted MJF. Sting said to MJF, "Hey, I'm supporting Darby in his quest to become world champion because I know what it takes to be world champion. Sting also made mention that his days are coming to an end. And I think Stinger, what they said, they like Solomon Monster had said, Stinger might want to challenge Darby, challenge Sting for the world title, or Sting might MJF might put Sting into going against Darby, so Darby get that world title match, whoever. But Sting acknowledged Kevin Nash, the Wolfpack, Nature Boy Ric Flair when Sting was the Surfer Sting. He never acknowledged Ric Flair. But one thing about Sting is he acknowledges people that he likes. So Sting acknowledged in the past from WCW, from the old good old days, from the 80s to the 90s, the Nitro era until now. So Sting knows a thing or two being on TBS. He was on WCW when WCW was on TBS so many years ago, 30 years ago at least. But Sting um, saying that Darby Allin should be the one and will be next, will defeat MJF to become the world champion. So I could probably see that a possibility. We don't know when this is going to happen. Probably will it happen at All In? That pay per view they was talking about last week to fill the stadium. That could probably perhaps be that All In. Um, we could see that in Wembley if they want to go there or All Out or however they're gonna do it. We'll see. But Sting making the claim that Darby Allin will be world champion some way down the road, and MJF will fall victim to Darby Allin. And Stinger making sure that MJF got a piece of word of that. So it was a night of returns on AEW. We saw the return of the Stinger. Also, too, we also had a TNT Championship match as Powerhouse Hobbs took on Silas Young. Powerhouse Hobbs been on the road with manager QT Marshall, who's acting like he's Harvey Levin. All of a sudden, Powerhouse Hobbs defeated what's his name? Um, defeated defeated Silas Young, and then all of a sudden Warlow shows up. Warlow unexpectedly shows up like a lot of things do. Warlow came out of nowhere. Warlow, the master, came out there. Warlow cleaned house and damaged everything you could think of. Warlow in a message that he is back, and Warlow destroying everything on sight, even power bombing the whole QT crew. Dan Warlow looking to get his TNT championship back. Warlow will go next week. He will go 1-on-1 against Powerhouse Hobbs next week for the TNT championship. We look forward to seeing that next week. Warlow looking for retribution. Warlow returns. We told you Sting had returned earlier, and now Warlow has returned. Warlow's back, and Warlow wants one thing. He wants that TNT, the TNT championship that he so recently had. Also, too, they had in backstage segment as what Jay White doing in AEW with what's his name, Juice Robinson, and why they are the Bullet Club United, and they attack Ricky Starks. They said plain and simple. They don't like Ricky Starks, and they want to get rid of Ricky Starks in AEW. The only way to get rid of Ricky Starks is to throw him out and get rid of him. So I guess they're gonna continue on terrorizing Ricky Starks down the road, and we had to wait and see how that's gonna go down eventually. Speaking of that, the TNT, the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy has been a hard fighting champion. He's been ducking no one and taking on all comers. Orange Cassidy took on Buddy Matthews, one half of the World Trios Tag Team Champions, 1/3 of the World Trios Tag Team Champion, Julia Hart in his corner. We know that it was a hard felt defense. Orange Cassidy has been defending left and right, but Orange Cassidy found a way to win the match. Orange Cassidy keeps his goal intact with his best friends intact. The best friends helping Orange Cassidy out. Orange Cassidy winning the match, but I think Orange Cassidy had lots to say. His friends helping him win the match. I think that says a lot for Orange Cassidy over the best friends at the Blood and Matthews unsuccessfully couldn't get the TNT Championship away from Orange Cassidy. Also, too, Christian Cage returns. Well, darker, sinister Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus back, and I don't know who they're going to target next. But Christian with Luchasaurus in his corner means trouble for the next victim they target. No Jungle Boy was part of that. They target Jungle Boy, but it's all over. We don't know who's Christian going to target next. But you got to see who's next in line. But you can tell this monster right here. I think if they use him right and use him effectively, let him go against Warlow. Shit, that might be next. But we'll see. Warlow needs monsters. It's like a monster factory. Warlow, when he gets done with Powerhouse Hobbs, he needs another monster. And I think Luchasaurus and Christian fit that bill. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Speaking of that, Kenny Omega has sent a pre-recorded message about them attacking his good friend and mentor Don Callis. This is what happened right here. We want to show you right here on what Kenny Omega had to endure watching Don Callis getting attacked. You see right there that gash, that wide gash. He had to have stitches. Don Callis receiving that long gash, and had to get stitches. And so we know that Kenny Omega was watching, and he watched this match, John Moxley versus Carlo Claudio, the Ring of Honor World Champion, the Blackpool Combat Club. It's Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa. We know Kenny Omega sent a that pre-recorded message saying he won't get his hands on Moxley. It's an eye for an eye. Kenny Omega's not playing. Kenny Omega's want to be serious. Kenny Omega sent that message to the Blackpool Combat Club that he's coming for him sooner rather than later. Well, Kenny Omega did come for him. When Kenny Omega made that surprise, he looks like Kerry Von Erich. Kenny Omega came out there and tried to get him and the Bucks, the Elite, tried to get their hands on the Blackpool Combat Club, and the fight was on. It was a Pier 6 brawl, a pull apart, and they was fighting until they had not to get off of each other. But Kenny Omega finally get his hands on it. We have to know this is going to be a match at Double or Nothing, like a huge 6-man tag team match or something that you can tell Omega wants to get his hands on you know who real bad on Dean on John Moxley / Dean Ambrose. So we'll see that as well. All right. Also too, the women's match right here. Paige, Saraya, Jamie Hayter, and Ruby Soho. They was another pull apart. Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, the women's champion, tried to come out there and they try to fight each other. Once again, it's far from over between these two women, and you can tell right here, it's far from over. I could see this going down. We saw it was going to be a tag team match: Riho and Sky Blue versus the Outcast. It was an Outcast, all right. It was a Pier 6 women's brawl. I think we're going to have a blood and guts match. The women will have one, including these lovely ladies, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and a couple of others against Saraya, Jamie Hayter, and Ruby Soho. You can tell it's working towards that eventually. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out eventually. So we'll see. Also, too, Jeff Hardy returns. The charismatic enigma. Jeff Hardy returns from absurdity after since that law stuff that was hindrance to Jeff Hardy getting himself together with a DUI. Jeff Hardy making his return. I guess now he found him a designated driver, and Jeff Hardy can be reckless all he want in the that, but allegedly, let's hope Jeff Hardy gets sober and not do nothing reckless like that. But Jeff Hardy reunited with his brother. Jeff Hardy and his brother back, Matt with the firm, the Hardy Boys. Right now are the only legendary tag team outside the Rock and Roll Express with the Hardy Boys. They need to, and Hardy Boys on their last end. It's been 20 years for a long time for the Hardy Boys. Nearly 25 when you think about it. The Hardy Boys have been entertaining fans with those high deftified moves. Now the Hardy Boys are reunited. Jeff Hardy back returns from the AEW. Plus two was finally the main event. Chris Jericho looked to put Keith Lee on the map. Keith Lee taking on Chris Jericho, the Ocho, the inaugural AEW champion. Jericho tried to utilize everything he had. Jericho won the match, but this was the scene right here. Adam Cole gave Chris Jericho that same look that he didn't want to be bothered with him. And I think this gonna start a rivalry like no other. I think Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, even like last week, Chris Jericho had got confronted by Keith Lee, and that's how the match had started. But that was the look that Adam Cole, right here, Adam Cole, baby, gave Chris Jericho. You can tell right here. There's gonna be a match between these two men at Double or Nothing. You can tell. We'll have to wait and see how Jericho's going to react going forward, but we'll see. But Adam Cole aiding and helping out his friend Keith Lee. They know each other from WWE days. You remember when Vince really wanted Adam Cole to be Keith Lee's manager. Vince didn't see nothing fitting for Adam Cole, but glad that Adam Cole went to AEW to truly make a name for himself after what had happened. But we just have to wait and see and stuff how that's gonna go down. That's why everyone, this tweet right here was saying that tonight there's gonna be a lot of disclosed following tonight's Dynamite. I have a feeling. So he knew what was gonna go on. These returns, we told you, the return of the Stinger. Sting returned to confront world champion MJF and said that Darby Allin is next in line to become the future world champion one way and one day. So we'll have to wait and see. Plus two, the return of Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy returned after a long absence, stemming from his DUI. So Jeff Hardy had returned back. And two, we saw the return of the mighty big guy Wardlow. Wardlow's back. Wardlow looking to get revenge at Powerhouse Hobbs. So hey, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So that is your AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We're gonna move forward to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, right here. Everyone is still talking about the Vicky Guerrero and her daughter situation. Vicky Guerrero had released a through her attorney saying this. Vicky and Chris and Vicky been really denied Shaw Guerrero's recent allegations of sexual assault and abandonment. Mr. Guerrero, unsustained accused, have caused the Bensons to suffer public ridicule, scorn, discern, and humiliation. Chris and Vicky appreciate the full seriousness of the allegation of this nature, the need for public support for sexual assault survivors. However, they ask that you withhold final judgment on this matter until they have the opportunity to bring Ms. Guerrero and her claims to court of law when judgment is based on facts and merit. So Vicky Guerrero and her husband had sent a release on her social media on the status of what's going on with her daughter. So we'll keep a close eye on this and we'll keep you updated on what had happened. So hey, so you'll know what's going on with that. So hey, there's a lot of AEW news going on. Also, too, we've been hearing reports right here. CM Punk wants to come back to AEW, but he want to work with the Elite. And I mean, that's the money right there. If you ask me, CM Punk and the Elite and how this will do it. Once the Elite get done with the Blackpool Combat Club, go and wrestle. Go and wrestle. The Elite needs to stop being stubborn and wrestle CM Punk and FTR. That's the money. That's the money right there. That's a huge 6-man right there. And then you can play through those allegations through this last week, through the scrum and say, okay, this is what happened. And then if you go with it, you making y'all will all make money, and then you can turn your negative into a positive. Plain more simple. I think CM Punk wants to work, and I think CM Punk is the. That's how they got $1 million game. That's how they got views. Now they want to keep AEW. Maybe Ken Omega might have to change his mind, but hey, you say he want to work with Elite. Someone got to sit down. Tony Khan got to sit down with him and say, "Hey, this what happened. Here's what how we gonna fix it." You know, neither party's right, but to make it fair and take accountability, and that's what you do. You take accountability and you move on. Some people just, can't take accountability, but hey, to each his own. I think some people are just too skeptical on that, and I hope CM Punk and what's his name take accountability on those actions because I mean they CM Punk want to make money, they want to make money, so they executive vice president do what's best for the company. So hey, look for that. Also, too, WWE made a release. They're going to report their first corner of the year of the new year. We're going to see what WWE did. We're hearing about the WrestleMania reports going up, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. So I'm expecting everything's going to be high through that first quarter of 2023. So we'll have to wait and see. And this was quite interesting right here that everyone had a direction. Mr. McMahon and Triple H had their offices and location, cater services, production meeting, gorilla position. It was just then Brock Lesnar at the bottom. So it was a lot going on right there. So hey, that be. A lot of people are still wondering since HBO Max is going to be called Max, will it still be all elite when all elite wrestling do like WWE and join a streaming service since they don't have one to show all elite footage? But they're like, nope. It would be great, but no, who knows? Probably down the road. They probably want more money and more incentive. So how that go? All right, we're looking through for AEW for this week. Right here, Jungle Boy Jack Perry takes on Sean Spears, returning Sean Spears, who's coming back from paternity leave after he and his wife welcome a new baby. Aussie Open versus the Best Friends and for the IGP Tag Team Championship. Oh, it's a lot going on. Also, too, what else going on? Tyler Vacker versus Emmett Serrata, FTR. We'll hear from the new tag team champions, FTR, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Briscoe, Jeff Jarrett, Sasha Singh, Cool Head, Luke and Daddy Magic Menard on what they did last week, attacking the Acclaim, nailing the Acclaim on what had happened. So there's a lot going on. So, like you said with the Acclaim and stuff, so as well. We're gonna leave you with we're gonna say the Acclaim, but we're gonna leave you with this moment right here. Chris Jericho turned his back around Adam Cole. Adam Cole returned. Now Adam Cole's doing the return the favor and turn his back against Chris Jericho. It's gonna lead to a match sooner rather than later. So we're gonna wait, anticipating to see that. So for me being Kendrick Dick saying so long, we'll see you this Friday for the SmackDown Report. See you then.